We have special guest Misty Winston with us. She's an activist whose work focuses on press freedom, freedom of speech, and anti-imperialism. She's the co-host of the Action for Assange podcast. You can follow her on Twitter at Sarcasm Stardust. Please welcome Misty Winston. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm good.
Thanks for coming. Good. Now I'm going to show everybody. Here's what's happening, right? So this is happening this Saturday at 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. in Washington, D.C. at the U.S. Department of Justice. That's at 950 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C., noon to 3 p.m. Look at all the people who are going to be there. And I wish I could be there. I won't be able to be there, but there's going to be a lot of great people there. So tell me more about it. Oh, did she freeze? Oh. I apologize.
Okay, we're back. Thank you, Misty. It's all right. You froze. It's okay. It's fine. Okay. Yeah. So this actually started in London, and as is the case very often in the Assange world, when somebody starts a protest, everybody does a protest. So it started in London. They're actually doing a really cool event. They're going to attempt to surround Parliament for the first time in history. So they're doing a human chain around Parliament, and so that amazing action started. Absolutely relentless. And it kind of snowballed from there. An event took off in Australia. I decided to do one in DC, and now there's events taking place all across the globe. So our event, as you mentioned, is going to take place from noon to 3 outside the Department of Justice, which is really ground zero for the Assange case. That's where the charges stem from. So we amazing speakers, people like Hedges, Jill Stein, Dan Cohen, Ben Cohen from Ben and Jerry's. A ton of really amazing people are coming out to Julian Assange.
Wow, do they have they made a special ice cream for Julian yet? I think
we're trying to make that happen, Jimmy. We're trying to make that happen. That would be fantastic. Yes, that would be great.
I wonder what kind of stuff you'd put in there. It's got to be spicy.
Think Ben and Jerry's would have the guts to do that?
I think they would have the guts.
They're longtime supporters, Kurt. Honestly, really? I mean, Ben Cohen. Yeah, Ben Cohen's actually speaking at our event. He's helping to fund the billboard truck. We've had a billboard truck running in the streets of DC for like 9 weeks now. He's helping to fund that. So yeah, he's been a longtime outspoken supporter of Julian Assange for a long time.
Now, so October 8th, is there any significance to that date, or?
So tomorrow is actually the 16th birthday of WikiLeaks being founded. So this is kind of known in the Assange world as Whistleblower and WikiLeaks Week. And so it being the Saturday following the birthday of WikiLeaks, that's just kind of where it happened to fall. And yeah, it just kind of snowballed, and everybody's doing one now.
And so where does everything stand now with Julian Assange? Can you bring us up to date?
Oh, well, we're in another, as always, we're in a perpetual state of limbo that we're kind of just waiting. So the Supreme Court in the UK rejected the appeal, the request for appeal, the initial one. And so what has happened since then is the defense team has inserted a what's called a perfected grounds for appeal. And it's basically just a Hail Mary pass, like, hey, are you sure you don't want to hear our appeal? Because in the UK, what happens is you have to request an appeal to be heard, and then they decide whether or not they even think that it's worthy of being heard in court. So the perfected grounds for appeal has been submitted, but we don't have like a deadline as to when a decision is going to be made or what. It's as always, we're just waiting. And in the meantime, Julian Assange his health has been failing for some time now, and it really is kind of crunch time. I mean, if this perfected grounds for appeal is denied, he could really be extradited at any second. So we're like a hair's breadth away from seeing that happen.
And now, do you need are you raising any funds for this?
We have a GoFundMe. Unfortunately, I hate raising money. I suck at it. It's the worst. But we obviously, freeing Assange is not free. I mean, we have to pay for things like flyers and, renting a sound system and all of those things. So we do have a GoFundMe. There's a link to that on my Twitter, at Sarcasm Stardust. And we've already raised, I think, like $2,300 ish. So that's pretty good. But obviously, the more that we can raise, the bigger that we can go, the more that we can do. And I understand everybody's in a really terrible economic situation right now. So, I mean, even if you can't donate, sharing the link is very helpful. So yeah, it's kind of, that's like the worst part of activism. Activism is not cheap.
So what is the GoFundMe page?
I think if you just go to GoFundMe and look up Hands Off Assange, you can find it that way. Or again, you can just go to my Twitter page.
So it's Hands Off Assange?
Yeah, hands off Assange. I'm the organizer of it, so I think you can also look up my name, but it's also on my Twitter page. People can find it that way. And I just looked, and we're actually at $2,422.
There's no like libertarian billionaire that I would think would be worried about this.
You would think, right?
Well, remember, I mean, didn't Peter Thiel help Hulk Hogan when his porn came out? And like, I just would think with that philosophy.
Yeah.
Especially
like I mentioned, Ben Cohen has been helpful in helping to fund the billboard truck. But yeah, it would be nice if like we had some super wealthy libertarian or lefty guy who's really concerned about the future of free speech. Although it's, depressing, but I have better luck with the right than I do with the left most of the time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There isn't one who gets this.
I know, that's weird.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just strange, man.
Yeah, it is. It's like the most frustrating thing about my existence is getting people to understand how this is important.
What does Elon Musk have to say about him?
He doesn't have anything to say. I've been trying, Jimmy. Oh my God, I've been trying. I've been reaching out to him in every way I know. I've been trying to get other people.
He knows better.
He's never mentioned it.
He knows better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's not. You don't get to be a billionaire because you're an outsider.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, he's an insider.
He's not allowed to talk about it.
No, he's got his contracts with the CIA. I'm sure with the military-industrial complex, with the Pentagon. I'm sure he can't risk any of that shit. He can't say anything about Julian Assange or actual free speech.
No, and the CIA was plotting to assassinate Julian Assange, so he's not going to say anything.
That's right. All right. Well, I want to say thank you to Misty Winston for putting this together and staying on the Julian Assange thing. You're always welcome back. Check out her Action for Assange podcast, and her Twitter handle is @Sarcasm Stardust. @Sarcasm Stardust. So if you want to donate, you can go over there and do it. Thanks for doing that. Anything else you want to mention before we say goodbye?
No, just thank you again, as always, for helping us hype this kind of stuff, for being one of the few. It's really depressing that even in independent media circles, it's really hard to get people to cover actual activism and to have activists on to talk about the things that they're trying to accomplish. So as always, we appreciate you and all that you do.
Well, I'm sure that a lot of those independent news shows don't have time to bring you on because they're busy repeating CIA talking points about Ukraine and the Nord Stream pipeline.
Not even a lot of points. One point just all day, 70 different ways.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, it's very frustrating.
You find that stuff? I find that fucking stunning. I get the Young Turks are going to get it wrong. Cenk Uyghur's a Republican and is in his heart, and he's been pro-war ever since forever.
Yes. Yeah, but Crystal and Sagar, like, that's a crazy, like, deep state talking points at the top of their lungs.
Crazy deep state CIA talking point bullshit.
Well, they also did it.
Go ahead.
In 2018, they did an entire segment where they mocked Julian Assange and laughed at him and spread the bullshit rumors about how he spreads poop on the walls or whatever. That's ridiculous thing. Yeah,
I remember when that came out. They said he's skateboarding all over the embassy, smearing shit.
And they repeated
and they've never apologized. It
sounded insane.
They repeated it uncritically, and now they're repeating all the lies about the wars and stuff. It's like the opposite of what people thought they were. Yeah. It's fucking weird to see.
And somehow they have credibility still in the
Well, they don't have any credibility with me on that stuff. That's for sure. I mean, who do they have credibility with? I don't know. I don't know who the fuck watches that, but that's
hipster liberals.
But if you watch the video, every comment was, "I'm done with you. This is ridiculous." So I don't know. I don't think they're really getting away with what you think they're getting away with.
I hope Ryan Grimm can help you out the situation.
Ryan Grimm, to his credit, has been a pretty vocal supporter of Assange. I'll give him that. He hates me, but I'll give him that.
Okay, I guess.
Here's the thing, Misty. You got to pick your battles and choose the hill you want to die on. That's what I've been told over and over again.
Yeah.
Like people that are real half-ass, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not good at that.
Not Kitty Helper. She went the distance. I'm not saying about her.
All right. Thank you again, Misty. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I appreciate you.
Virginia Beach, Richmond, Arlington, San Jose, Miami, West Palm Beach. Go to jimmydorcomedy.com for a link for all the tickets and become a premium member while you're there.